Welcome to PedalBox. On this episode we're going to get the rest of the engine out of the car. Or we have got the rest of the engine out of the car.
So the whole removal was relatively straightforward. The engine came straight out as we hoped it would.
We had disconnected an awful lot of things the day before, so it wasn't surprising that it came out fairly easily. The bigger surprise really was the amount of difficulty we had getting the rest of the stuff out of the car. That we thought, how hard can it possibly be?
Yeah, we had the great idea. We thought the exhaust is in fairly good condition, there's no leaks or anything, so we'll pull that out and kind of try to sell it as one piece. Unfortunately, the exhaust is shaped in a way that it actually can't leave the car with the rear beam on, so we've had to cut it into several bits and pull it all out in pieces. That's kind of worthless, unfortunately.
Yeah, part of that was down to the rear box being fused and welded back onto the rest of the exhaust. Had it just been bolted like they normally are, it probably would have been fine, but there was not a chance without cutting it off that was going to happen.
So this is our engine. Now that it's out of the car, we can start looking at the back of it, which is where some of the fun stuff's going to happen. So the turbo we know is cut, so we're going to have to replace that anyway. And while we're in there, we're thinking we might well replace this ugly cast iron log manifold on the back of it. Going to like a nice stainless tubular setup, we'll get a lot less lag. It'll look prettier as well because it's hanging out the back of the car, so that's always a win. Since we're replacing the turbo, probably relocating it with a new manifold, we're also going to have to look at the boost piping. So the way it normally worked, or the way it worked out the factory, is the boost would come up out the turbo here, there's a little elbow in there, and then it would run off under the engine, out to the intercooler at the front right of the car. That's not really much use to us because of the way that we're going to be packaging everything, so we're probably going to replace that as well. Maybe boost over the top or something. We haven't really thought too much about it yet, but this is all going to have to change quite a lot. So once we've dealt with that, we've then got other pipe work up on the top. So we've got a couple of important bits and pieces that we're definitely going to have to keep. So things like the wastegate actuator and the boost control solenoid here. We've also got exhaust gas recirculation, which we're probably going to want to get rid of because, well, you know, no one cares about emissions. And I think this is just like a crankcase breather or something on the side. I haven't. Probably ought to look at that a bit more. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff up on the top that we're probably going to thin out a little, see if we can kind of simplify and streamline things a bit. We think we're going to be sticking to the OEM ECU and everything, so we're going to probably keep a lot of the same actuators and sensors and stuff, kind of keep it pretty vanilla, just see if we can, you know, get rid of, you know, a lot of these weird, like, ugly kind of kinked hoses and stuff that are important at the factory for packaging reasons, but that we really don't need to care about. Alright, so today we're cutting the floor out of the chassis. Basically it'll be a pretty good handy source of material for building like brackets and stuff for the frames that we're putting in the back of it. We've already taken the rivets out, which I'm a bit of a muppet and forgot to turn the camera on for that, so I'm very sorry that you missed such wonderfully exciting footage. The next thing we're going to do is, because it's all been welded on, stitch welded around the edge, we're going to take a little slitting disc and just cut the bulk of the floor out and just see how much of it we can chisel off, because basically we've got the chassis tubes and the floor has been welded onto the bottom of it.
So although it's been stitched around the outside edge, it's been seam welded near enough the entire way around the inside of here, and it looks like it's been corroded a bit as well, so we just can't peel it off like we were hoping to. We thought it might have worked, but at the end of the day we're just going to have to slit all the way around each panel and then peel the rest off later. They're really heavy.
Yeah. I wonder how much easier it's going to be to flip now. Turns out it's a really good thing we took the floor off. Underneath where it was all welded in, you can see there's loads and loads of rust. All of this we kind of thought would be sealed and nice and safe from the elements, but it looks like there's a lot of gaps in the seal, gaps in the weld where water must have got in, because man, this is just rough. Loads and loads of, I mean, this is the sealant that was on it, but you can see even that's picked up rust onto it. So yeah, good thing we got rid of that. It also weighs a ton, so wins all round.
So all we need to do is attach that to that.
Easy.
Easy, right? Let's cut the back of this off.
Okay.
So it's a lot lighter now. We've got rid of probably another.
All this.
Getting up for another probably 4 to 5.
Yeah. Adrian, the human weighing
Probably
scales.
about another 10 kilos worth of stuff. Admittedly, that's so we can put a much bigger engine in, which is then going to be a lot heavier, but that's kind of by the by. And the floor was surprisingly heavy as well. That's probably another
floor weight
10 or so kilos, maybe even more than that, actually, probably close to 15.
Maybe even more. I think it weighed a lot anyway.
But yeah, we need to clean all that up because yeah, it's just a horrible, horrible rust track. Yeah. Right, we should flip this over.
Yep.
And put the engine up against it.
Yep.
But we should also spin the engine round. So this will be the first time the engine and chassis have actually been this close to one another. And
It's pretty
it
sensitive.
does look pretty good. Like these two mounts are going to come roughly here and here, so we can build a decent structure coming straight off the back that these will mount onto, which as far as I'm concerned is a bonus.
She is going to have the booty.
Yeah. Roughly 21.5.
Practically it'll be less. Oh, you're just measuring
From there,
the front of the
to
mounting face to
level,
the back of
to level points. In fact, it doesn't matter.
the 13-inch bang on.
It doesn't matter because they are actually out of line. So my idea was worthless.
Oh, that's a
Your
good
end
point.
needs to
Yeah,
go
one of
back
these
a
is
little
further forward than the other.
bit. Yeah, so your end needs to go back a touch more.
I'm just going to take a quick measurement of the bolt hole to the leg.
Yeah,
13 on that side,
yeah.
15 on this side.
So that should be 2 inches longer than this one.
Yep. So this one was 13.
Did you go to the actual?
I went just to this face, the rearmost face of this level.
Bearing in mind they're also out of height. That's probably about right.
It's, yeah, close enough that, yeah.